Here, the most important the principle is all or none principle. What is meant by all or none principle? It's a very simple. The muscle fiber either contracts fully or does not contract at all. So either if it is contracts, fully it contracts, or not, it won't contracts. Generally, which is also applicable for nerve fiber also. So the nerve fiber also which generate the impulses during the contraction, generating the impulses during nerve conduction, this all or none principle is also applicable. So once again we see whether the muscle fiber either contracts fully or does not contract at all. This is called as all or none principle, which is also applicable for both muscle fiber and also nerve fiber. Now, let me take an idea on how the muscle contraction occurs. What is the mechanism behind it? To explain the muscle contraction, the familiar and famous, the theory almost all accepted, one is sliding filament theory. The sliding filament theory was proposed by Huxley. Generally it is called as Huxley is the scientist who proposed the sliding filament theory. What is meant by sliding filament? What exactly? Which means actin filaments slide over myosin filament. Actin filaments slide over myosin filament during the muscle contraction. Hence, this is called as sliding filament theory. So, during this sliding process, cross-bridge formation occurs. Cross-bridge formation occurs in between actin and myosin. Heads of the myosin attaches to active sites of myosin present on actin. These two attaches together, cross-bridge formation occurs. Now, here I band get reduced. Here when you see which one is get reduced during muscle contraction, I band get reduced, but A bands remain same length. You know, the I band is isotropic band, which is a light band, which is showing reduced, but A bands anisotropic band, the thick band which remains same in their length. Here the length of the actin and myosin filaments are also remain unchanged. These are previously asked questions during the muscle contraction. Remember, I bands get reduced, the light bands. A bands are not get reduced. Actin and myosin filaments, their length is also remain unchanged. These are the 3 points we need to understand very carefully. Now here, when to initiation of the muscle contraction, acetylcholine is essential. The acetylcholine which is released at a neuromuscular junction, where the CNS which is generated, innervated into the muscle, at the neuromuscular junction, the acetylcholine is generated. Acetylcholine is released. In presence of acetylcholine, these can stimulate the muscle fiber. So, the first step which we need to understand, stimulation process, which through acetylcholine. Now, this acetylcholine which cause release of calcium ions from sarcoplasmic reticulum. What is sarcoplasmic reticulum? In the sarcoplasm, in the muscle fiber, the endoplasmic reticulum, which is called as sarcoplasmic reticulum, which is the source of calcium ions. Now, these calcium ions are essential for muscle contraction. During the first process is stimulation process. Now, when the muscles are relaxed, what is the condition we observe? During the muscles relaxed state, troponin tropomyosin complex which blocks myosin binding site on actin. Hence, there is no formation of cross bridge. Hence, it is called as relaxed state. During the contraction state, troponin, tropomyosin will be unmasked. During the relaxed state, this troponin, tropomyosin will be closest. This is the point you need to understand very carefully. Here, the four important steps we need to understand. Here, the impulse generation, where the heads of the myosin, which consist of ATPase binding site, which releases the ATP molecule. You see, the ATP in presence of water, the myosin ATPase in presence of magnesium ion, which is producing the energy. This energy which is used for formation of cross bridge. So formation of cross bridge is the second step during the muscle contraction. What is formation of cross bridge? The heads of the myosin making attaches with the actin molecule. So this is cross bridge formation with the help of one ATP molecule. Suppose this ATP is an unstable compound. The creatine phosphate present in the muscles, which is added to the ATP and which is helping for formation of again ATP, and the rest over the substance is creatine substance. So in this form also ATP will be formed. ATP is helping for splitting of ATP into ADP plus inorganic phosphate ion. During energy will be liberated. The ADP is unstable compound in presence of creatine phosphate, which is also again converting into ATP molecule, and the leftover, the remaining is creatine substance. So after the cross bridge formation, the third one is sliding or rotation. Whenever the heads are attaches to the actin molecule, myosin head, actin molecule, this will be moves inward. These are attaches like this and moves inwardly. The movement of inwardly movement of the myosin proteins is called as sliding or rotation. During this sliding or rotation movements, the I bands will remain changed, but no A bands will be remain unchanged. No actin and myosin proteins are not changed their lengths. Only I band will remain changed. Now after sliding or rotation, contraction process will be over. During this process, the ADP plus inorganic phosphate ion are splitted through the ATP from the head of the myosin, and during this process, the heads slowly will be detached from the actin molecules. This is called as breaking of cross bridge. Breaking of cross bridge. So breaking of cross bridge during the condition which we call as relaxation. During the relaxation, the cross bridge will be breakdown, and the two important proteins, actin and myosin, will get separated at the fourth step. Once again, you see the generation of impulse, formation of cross bridge, sliding or rotation, and relaxation of the muscle. With the help of these four steps, we can understand muscle contraction process. Now here, the most important point, what is rigor mortis? A rigor mortis is a condition where we see dead bodies. Dead bodies generally, they won't relax. The muscles are not relaxed. Their muscles will become very stiff. So the rigidity of the muscles in a dead body is called as rigor mortis, where muscles are in contract state, they won't relax. And very simple point, one more point I will give clarity here. What is a red skeletal muscle fiber and what is white skeletal muscle? Why the color which is given to the skeletal muscles, either red or white? The red color in the skeletal muscle is due to presence of a rich myoglobin. Myoglobin is oxygen rich muscle, is called as myoglobin. Can you give one example? Cardiac muscles are rich source of myoglobin, where the up arrow, which you need to understand, rich source of rich, where abundant mitochondria are present for energy source, and sarcoplasmic reticulum are less in number, wherein red skeletal muscles. Can you give one example? The extensor muscles of the back muscles in our body are the best examples of red skeletal muscles. Generally, in this aerobic respiration process occurs. Now, contrast to this, white skeletal muscle fiber, where myoglobin is present less, mitochondria are less, but sarcoplasmic reticulum is present more in number. Why? Because the abundant source of calcium ions, which are helping for muscle contraction process. Muscle contraction is nothing but anaerobic respiration process. Hence, most of the sarcoplasmic reticulum are present in white skeletal muscle fibers. For example, the flight muscles present in a sparrow are the best examples for white muscle fibers. Clear? Red muscle fiber and white muscle fiber. Now, we can conclude this topic with two disorders. The two important disorders which are related to the muscles are, one is myasthenia gravis, second one is muscular dystrophy. What is myasthenia gravis? Which is autoimmune disorder. The autoimmune disorder where neuromuscular junction will be affected, where acetylcholine is not secreted, where muscle contraction is not occurs properly. In this myasthenia gravis, due to the destruction of neuromuscular junction, the weakening of skeletal muscle is observed, where muscles are not contract properly, which leads to fatigue and also which finally leads to paralysis condition. Right? So here this is myasthenia gravis. Immediately the keyword is autoimmune disorder, and here the neuromuscular junction will be affected. In which type of disease? This is previously asked question, very important question. Now coming to the second most important one is muscular dystrophy, which means the progressive degeneration of the muscles, which is due to because of the genetic disorder. Myasthenia gravis is a genetic disorder. In this genetic disorder, the progressively the muscles will be get degenerated. Right? These are the two important related the muscles, the disorders. Even we can understand the previously what are the which type of questions they have asked. This is a very simple and most important topic. Compulsory, the two questions they are asking from this chapter. One is from muscles, one question is compulsory. For example, in fallopian tubules, the movement of the gametes, which is a type of movement which comes under, what is the type of movement we have mentioned? Which is ciliary movement. So generally they may confuse you. Gametes means only ova will move through the ciliary movement. Sperm won't move through the ciliary because on its own flagellary movement it can show. To make you confuse, gametes they will give. We should not take the option gametes. Only ova in female reproductive tract can show the ciliary movement. This is one important, small tricky question they will ask. So you need to concentrate line to line NCERT to get a clarity. And second one, as I said, the myasthenia gravis is a autoimmune, the disorder which is due to degeneration of neuromuscular junction effect of. These are the second question. This is. And the third important question, in a muscle contraction, which one alter the length? Previously they have asked. You see, when the muscle fiber, this is a dark band and light band, dark band and light band, and dark band. You see, this is I band. The I band will be get altered. This is another I band. The longitudinal line which is called as Z line. The two successive Z lines will be contract. So which one is altering? The I band is altering. This is previously asked question. But whereas the actin proteins and myosin proteins are present in this, the A band which are not altered. So the sarcomere region which is present in two successive Z lines will be get altered. That means I band will be get altered, but not A band will be get altered. So I hope you understood the topic very well. So clearly I have mentioned each and every point. So try to go through once again the topic from the NCERT and today's class, and I hope you will get the good marks and have a good day. Thank you one and all.